Thanks for joining us on Business Basics. Today we're going to be talking about objectives. I'm joined by Wesley Howery. My name's Nathan Johnson, and we're going to be leading into just having a discussion about how objectives play a really important part in the role of operating your business. Objectives kind of fill the gap between what you want to accomplish and what you're thinking. So the big idea is making the push to have your objectives be something bigger or greater than how the business works. So when you look at simple things like starting your business day to day, a lot of times you're going to think, well, I need to make more revenue, or I'm going to want to sell more items. A lot of times those objectives are a little too simplified. So what we're going to be doing is discussing what makes a good objective or a bad objective. So I'd like to ask you what you think is a good objective versus a bad objective in our idea of our fictional furniture company.
What would make a good objective in our fictional furniture company is something that pushes the company forward. So say one of our key drivers is how we want to project ourselves to our clients is we are a sustainable furniture company. We're going to want to have an objective that pushes us, our company, to be more sustainable, and we're going to want to be able to measure that.
One thing that definitely, as we're talking about this, is we want to make sure we understand that the objectives need to be a little more large scale or really high up. You don't want objectives to get into the nitty gritty of the everyday workflow or work environment. You want them to be something everyone can sort of rally around and understand is going to have a bigger impact. If the objectives get too finite, it can be a little hard to follow them. So a lot of times we suggest to bring them down to the departmental level or to the managing group level before you really decide what the structure for them is. So one thing we'll discuss later on in a different video will be personal objectives, but for now we're going to continue to talk about business and departmental. In the example you're using of about having environmental sustainability is that this is something for everyone to sort of be able to look at as a very easy to understand thing. You want to make sure your objectives are something that is clear to everyone and can be understood and can also be relayed and conveyed across to other people. So when your team members go home or they're talking to their clients or anyone else, that they can convey across what the overall idea is of the objectives throughout their workflow. So one of the important parts about objectives too is they're very important for drivers of the company, team leaders, and really motivated, talented people. So as a team lead, what do you think is really important to yourself when it comes to working with a company with objectives?
Me as a team lead, what I like most about objectives is the transparency and alignment it brings throughout our team members, and it also holds everyone accountable. So we can set an objective to increase customer service for this quarter, and then what we're able to do is everyone is aligned and in the same direction, pointing on full force that we want to increase our customer service. And then we're able to do that by measuring it, doing client surveys, getting feedback, and then being cognizant and improving the areas that we want to focus on.
Yeah, one of the big benefits too is that it also allows people that are part of teams to understand how they're impacting the company. And then it also allows the company to better understand how the team is impacting what the overall goal is. The synergy between those two is super important because a lot of times things get lost when you're part of a team and you don't know what you're striving for and you don't know how you're influencing things or making changes. So having that type of clarity makes it a lot easier for when you're bringing talented people on board or drivers or people that really want to be chomping at the bit to effectively push things forward.
Exactly, yeah. We're able to look up and see like, okay, our company is pointed in this direction, and now I'm able to work with my team members and see how we directly contribute to the overall mission of our company. And then everyone has that measured performance where we know what we're getting held accountable to, and then we can make decisions based on that.
Absolutely. And this is where key results really come into play.